upstairs represent a tip of the local diverse media iceberg. So how do we go about gathering these organizations together for future collaborative projects? Who is it up to take the initiative to foster an inclusive environment for these insular organizations to gather and work together in the future? Is it even the interest internally and publicly? Even there?
Good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to see a full house here. So I am the co-founder of Culture along with Ajay Puri. I'm just going to take a quick minute to tell you a bit about what we do. Firstly, I'd like to thank our panel for graciously donating their time, and as well as Sushma, our moderator, and our superstar Zian, who is sort of the mastermind behind a lot of the logistics and planning. So thank you for that. So in short, Co-op Culture is about enriching our dialogue, Canada's dialogue, on issues of cultural diversity and multiculturalism through mixed media storytelling and through community engagement. That grew out of, I think, observations that a lot of these issues that we talk about, a lot of issues around cultural diversity, often get told through the lens of statistics and facts and generalizations, and not really through the lens of human beings, if they're even being talked about at all. So we saw a great opportunity to inject a lot of nuance into our conversation through mixed media stories, through providing human faces and personalizing a lot of these issues in engaging ways, and through community events, such as the event that we're sponsoring today. Just as an aside, we have our pilot story coming up. We have our pilot story coming up the end of December, which is a portrait story looking at Punjabi youth and Bhangra folk dance in the Lower Mainland. And if any of you are interested, we have a table set up upstairs. You can come chat with me or anyone else.
Brief introduction to our moderator, Sushma Datt, who has graciously devoted her time to moderating our panel here today. So in brief, Sushma was born and raised in Canada, and she is a pioneer in Canadian broadcasting. She was the first Indo-Canadian broadcaster in the country, and she immigrated to Canada in 1972. In 2005, Sushma was granted a license from the CRTC to establish Vancouver AM station RJ 1200. In 2007, Sushma received the BC Influential Woman in Business Award. Among her awards, she has also received the Order of British Columbia, the Queen's Golden Jubilee Commemorative Medal, and the YWCA's Woman of Distinction Award. She's also received the Humanitarian Award from Vancouver Multicultural Society. Aside from her impressive work, she also serves on the board of the MS Society of Canada and is the director for the Vancouver General Hospital and Mount St. Joseph Hospital. We all gather and
Is our media inclusive or exclusive? When I say our media, do I mean English language media or quote-unquote language media, right? In researching for today's topic, I came across the following, and I'll read it out to you. What does diverse media mean? Different mediums of expression. Research and practice related to literacy must be transformed to accommodate new ways of accessing, processing, and using information. Broadening the scope of literacy, specifically in relation to diverse media, is not entirely a phenomenon of the late 20th or the early 21st century. Interest in how new media might affect conceptions of literacy can be traced to the widespread use of electronic audiovisual media, such as television and film in the first half of the 20th century. The increasing integration of digital technologies into mainstream of everyday communication and the inherent capability of those technologies to blend diverse modes of representation. New modes of digital communication exist not only in parallel with conventional printed forms, but they have replaced or moved to the margins conventional forms of reading and writing. For example, the obsolescence of typewriter and the ascendance of email as the preferred alternative to diverse media, to diverse forms of correspondence on paper, the emergence of internet, as a prominent cultural phenomena, and the appearance of the electronic book represents a steady yet incomplete and unpredictable progression away from conventional printed forms. Okay, so it's a huge topic. Are we talking about, when we talk about diverse media, we could also mean diverse in medium types like TV, radio, internet, newspapers, films. Okay? Diverse in language. At our radio station at RJ 1200, we're a very diverse company. When I say diverse, we are a diverse media. We broadcast to the South Asian community. Our employees are of all the cultures. My marketing manager is a Chinese person. My advertising manager is a Caucasian. My morning and afternoon newscasters are Caucasians. My hosts of the show are South Asian, of different. They're Punjabi, they're Hindi speakers, they're Gujarati speakers. So it is truly a diverse company. So diverse in language and types of information. Diverse in the message and receiving. Diverse in lots of ways. So our topic, as I said, is huge today. And to enlighten you today, we have three dynamic people with us. So I'll talk a little bit about all three of them. Or should I just talk about them one at a time? I've never done moderation before, okay? So you will forgive me if I just ramble on. Our very first person is ALDEN HABACON. And I met this dynamic guy many years ago and was so impressed by him. And it's a great pleasure that I'm introducing him. He is an accomplished... Who's first? Oh, Leela is first.
Oh.
Okay. Leela? All right, see? Okay. Well, Leela I've met today. And I'm already impressed. And Leela also bears the name, my mother's name was LILAVATI as well. So great, LILAVATI Levine is a youth dedicated to social change. She believes that anyone can change their world with poetry, with film, music, photojournalism, and journalism. Has spent the last 3 years using these tools of media to export her message to the world she lives in. As a young woman of color, she has seen and experienced the effects of oppression in her life and the lives of those around her. She is a co-creator of the YouthMADE film, I Am Here, and she's here today, LILAVATI Levine. And Leela's topic is, what made you start creating media for your community, Leela? Are you going to come here?
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, you stay there.
I don't have height issues. 6 feet tall. Yeah, so my name's Leela. I'm 18 years old. I grew up in East Vancouver. I'm of mixed race background. I have 8 nationalities that I can name, and my culture is hip hop. I started out using words to express myself like at a very early age. My whole family is very literary, and was like writing like philosophical like things at like 10. You know, my little like tag on my email was like, "What's done is done. We can't change the past." So blah, blah, blah. And you know, growing up in East Van and having access to like different youth programs for at-risk youth made me label myself as an at-risk youth, as someone who had to be doing badly in my life because of the circumstances that I grew up in. I come from a very stable family that was very safe, and but I chose a lot of things because of the labels that were put on me. It wasn't until I was 15 that I realized that there was other places and that I could be, other spaces that I could be in and occupy and flourish in and create my own labels or shed the labels that I created for myself or had put on me. So I got involved with an organization called Leave Out Violence, British Columbia, and they're an anti-violence youth organization that focuses on creating media to express their stories of violence. Like finding out that I could use something as simple as like metaphors to express how I felt to the people around me was an amazing thing for me. Like to be able to just say like what I thought was nothing and have people really get where I was coming from at all different ages, from all different backgrounds. People could understand what I was trying to say and what I've gone through. And if they didn't, they could ask me, because I was now putting myself out there. Being involved with Love gave me a bunch of other opportunities to get involved with other media creation organizations. With the Access to Media Education Society, I created the YouthMADE film I Am Here, which is about it failed but really well attempted cultural genocide of Aboriginal peoples in North America. And that process allowed me to acknowledge my own Aboriginal ancestry and to be proud of it, right? Because I was always like, no, I'm the other Indian. You know, I'm the real Indian. And I was able to make space for that in my life and have compassion for the people that I grew up with and look at the reasons why things were going on the way that they were. I find that a lot of people are like, wow, you're so young and it's amazing you're doing all of this, but it's like, it's not that amazing. All we really need to do is give youth the tools and have it accessible for people, because we all have things that we want to say and we can say them. Some of the most crazy labeled at-risk youth that are you know, selling drugs on the corner or whatever, right? They have amazing stories that they want to share. They're amazing storytellers. All you got to do is talk to them. So I guess boredom, not having another option other than to go into media was one of the reasons that I started creating media. But when I started creating media for my community, it was because I'd finally had my eyes open to what was going on in the community. And was able to recognize the things that happened with me and happened with my friends and my peer group, right? And to face those things and to amplify my voice and to have the opportunity to amplify my voice. I now facilitate anti-oppression workshops, and I'm like, whoa, this is crazy concepts and things. But you know, I get to go into schools and have real conversations with third graders about oppression and privilege and how unfair that is, and the insights that I see are amazing. Right? So it's not so much about how can we create diverse media, because diverse media is here, it's everywhere. It's how can we amplify it? How can we make it bigger? How can we take over mainstream media? You know, because I think that is what's more important than trying to find new ways to create what's already there. It's amplify the voices that aren't amplified. Those are the minorities, including you, and just I don't know. I think that it's really important to just make people feel respected about what they have to say, you know? And maybe do a little bit of coaching on how they say it, but you know, it's you know, when I first started making media, I was pretty angry and didn't know how to. But I don't know, creating spaces for youth and people of color and refugee and new immigrants and settlers and folks who have been here for multi-generations and have their stories amplified and just make it loud and bright and I don't know, that's what's important.